Hi all, my name's Erica, aka ECR Horses 1901, and I'm a little late to the party, but today I'm going to share my opinions on Breyer's new models for 2026. First up is Yan Wu, to celebrate 2026 being the year of the fire horse in the Chinese zodiac. He is this lovely bright red with gold mapping on the Amazigh stallion mold. I really like this one. I think he is very striking. And ever since getting glossy Casico for one of my CCA horses last year, I've actually become quite fond of this mold. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to be one that is going to be added to my collection this year. Next up is Betsy and Ross for the 250th anniversary of the United States. Betsy is the blue Clareware on the Cantering Mustang mold with a circle of stars on her flank, and Breyer decided to change up her typical foal and to pair her with the Andalusian foal instead. Here he is red Clareware with silver stripes. I really like the shade of blue that they've chosen for the mare, who, to be honest, that mold I am not a very big fan of. I see what Breyer was trying to do here, what with the red, white, and blue, although I guess it's more like red, Claire in blue, and the stars and the stripes. But while the whole theme is more obvious, or evident I should say, on the mare, if you just saw the foal by itself, I don't think you would quite know what's going on. So I am keen to see these two in person, but this will probably be a pass for me. Breyer is giving us several portrait models this year as regular runs, and this is Apolitical Jess, a matte chestnut with bird catcher spots. Okay, that's what those tiny little dots are on the Geronimo mold. So in real life, this is a champion quarter horse sprinter who is technically double registered as a paint. I like the Geronimo mold, and these are not markings that we commonly see on any model horse. So he will definitely be on my watch list. Okay, I don't know if we're supposed to go with a Spanish type pronunciation for this horse or a more English pronunciation, so this is either Jaguel Hilton or Haguel, not sure. In either case, he is a matte dapple gray on the roached mane version of the Criollo mold. This is another portrait model of the only Criollo stallion currently standing stud in the United States. He's pretty nice color-wise, but after getting Bandolero last year, I have kind of complicated feelings about this mold. It's a rare one in that I think it would be a really good performance model, but I feel questionable about him as a halter horse. Yeah, I don't know. Bandolero has stayed pretty much wrapped up since I've gotten him. I mean, I've let him air out a few times, but I don't really take him out or think about him very much, so I do not think Haguel or Jaguel will be joining my herd. The 7th model in the Ideal Orin Mixer series is a matte brown and white Pinto on the Hamilton mold. He's fine. I am not the biggest fan of the Hamilton mold. I'm team American Saddlebred Stallion forever, so even though I am not the biggest fan, this will appeal to the many people who do like this mold very much. Next up is a model I think that we have all collectively been waiting for. This is Pluto Gracia, a matte gray on the Lipizan Stallion mold, or the Lipizzaner Stallion mold. Actually, which is it? Okay, it's a Lipizzaner Stallion confirmed. If you remember my earliest videos, which were my tier ranking videos, I was not shy about sharing my disdain for Adonis. But it was specifically that colorway and not the mold itself. I had hoped that this mold would do better with the different colorway, and that has proven to be true. I like 2024's This Is My Fight song, and although this is not fancy, this colorway with this pose is indeed a good representation of a Lipizzaner stallion. I'm not positive that I will be purchasing him. It really depends what else comes up this year and how much I need to purchase to get to the CCA limit when those happen. But the commentary I've been reading online seems to indicate that he's going to be popular, and I am guessing that you can expect to see this guy all over the OF Spanish non-gated horse classes. GG Kiss Me Kate is a matte black on the Vanner mare mold. Don't know why that was so hard to say. This is another where I'm not a fan of this mold, and I fear we may have another just flat black coat like Breyer sometimes does. Taking those two things into consideration, it's a no for me. Thoren is a unicorn on the Shenandoah mold. I have complicated feelings about this guy. Initially, when I was very first scrolling through the new models, my first thought was gross. No, absolutely not. I just felt like this mold was a weird choice for a unicorn. But then I took a second look and I am finding myself transfixed by his coat. Like, the level of glossing, and I think it says down here that yeah, the gray coat has blue interference, and suddenly you are speaking my language. He is another, though, that I definitely need to wait to see in person, because he might just be a purchase for me. I don't know, I'm not normally into unicorns, but if he is as nice as I am hoping, then I might make an exception. Moving on to this year's non-horse animal, we have a Black Baron Cup set. I personally am glad to see them back as a regular run. In my opinion, they both look great, and I hope that people are buying the non-horse molds that Breyer has given us in the past bunch of years, like not just the ones that they put out around the winter time, but the several that they have included as regular runs in the past few years, because it's something that I would definitely like to see them continue to do. We need to talk about this year's Halloween horse. So this is Fuego on the Aquateque mold. He is a fiery deco background with dragons on either side. As a model, he is intriguing, and I do like the Aquateque mold. The whole thing is just kind of giving me vibes of an improved version of 2024's Just Like Fire Breyer Fest special. I'll put up a picture in case you weren't here or don't remember. I just know that a lot of us were not super enthused with that one. So that said, even though there are some nice aspects to this mold, or to this model, to me personally, dragons don't scream Halloween. Maybe it's because I associate them more with like World of Warcraft, because I've been playing on and off since 2004, so my mind goes towards like fantasy more than scary Halloween stuff. If Breyer wanted to start a new fantasy related series, that would be cool. But I don't think that was their intention here, so yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting idea, but as the Halloween horse, I think this might have missed the mark. And this year's holiday horse is a pearly gray Emerson called Holiday Homecoming. I like the blanket and the bit details along the side. You know, the color scheme is fine. The only thing I'm not a big fan of here is the bow in front. Could have done without that. And I know I have some very big Emerson fans in the crowd, so I hate to say that Emerson is not one of my favorite molds, just because me, standing horses, we don't always gel. But I'm not super excited about him being the choice for this year. I've actually almost considered buying one of 2025's holiday models with Flash, and then seeing if perhaps this outfit fits on him. Because I didn't like the outfit on 2025's holiday horse, so I didn't buy him, but I definitely prefer Flash to Emerson, so I might have to look into doing that as Tractor Supply's discounts keep going down and down. Meanwhile, this year's flagship model, Gambit, is a matte blanket Appaloosa on the loose mane newsworthy mold, and I am very angry at Breyer for doing this because I like this mold a lot. Even though I am technically a bigger fan of the braided version of newsworthy, it's an Appaloosa, it's newsworthy, it's a pony, it's a lot of good things. So I am hopefully going to be able to get one of these guys. And yeah, this is truly one of the models that I think I am the most excited about for 2026. And that is pretty much it for traditional scale, so let's talk about the classics right fast. First, we have a matte frame Overo stock horse on the Harper mold. I don't personally see stock horse here, but that's what they're describing her as. And not much to say. It's fine color-wise, and Harper is pretty okay. If I were tier ranking these, it would be a solid C, C+. Then on the right, we have a matte blue roan Appaloosa on the show stock horse mold. I really like the roan part of this colorway, but I'm not a big fan of this style of Appaloosa spots. That said though, overall, this could be a lot worse. Next up, we have a matte chestnut on the Raring Mustang mold, and on the Morgan Stallion mold, a lovely bay. These are both nice. And finally, we have a champagne quarter horse cross on the Mariah mold, and a gray Arabian on the prancing Arabian mare mold. I'm not feeling the champagne horse, to be honest, and I think I would like the Arabian mare more if she were flea bitten gray. Some of the other pictures that I have seen of her indicate that she is not. But you know, I always give a little bit of leeway to the classic models because I do personally consider them to be more for kids and more as toys. I know some people do legitimately collect them, and that's fine if that's your thing. But yeah, none of these are things that I am planning to purchase this year, although, going back to this guy for a minute, I think one of the things I'll be looking for at Breyer Fest this year, if not before, are one of the particularly cursed versions that I pointed out when I was doing my classic scale tier ranking videos. If I haven't already, I'm gonna put a picture up of what I'm referring to. I kind of need to get the 3 models, I think it was, that came in this series, just because they are horrifically delightful. However, on classic scale, we also have some decos. On the Halflinger Mare in Full, we have a Candy Delights Unicorn and Full set. Now, even though they are described as candy, and their names are literally Candy Sprinkle and Sugar Puff, the colorway itself is described by Breyer as Strawberry Lemonade, which is not candy. I mean, I guess it could be a candy flavor, but I don't know, it's not adding up for me. I'm thinking about this way too much. There's a lot going on here. I think it's similar to like the red velvet and the mint chocolate chip type of food-inspired decos that they've done on classics in the past, and it's definitely not for me. Although, honestly, the pink is kinda nice. And for the final decorator, we have Sapphira, yet another model on the prancing Arabian mare mold. This one is a neat turquoise and pink clareware. I don't know if I like her enough to purchase, but I do find these colors pleasing to the eye, and I do like it as a clareware. So, who knows? Add this to the list of models that I am quite keen to see in person. I'm going to skip over all the playsets, and let's jump straight down to the stablemates. First is the Pursuit of Happiness gift set containing a dark blue cantering Warmblood with the United States in white on its side, a pearly white Raring Andalusian with blue-topped mane and tail, and a red and blue firework on its flank, or on its hindquarters, and finally a red stock horse mare with white stars. To be honest, 2 out of the 3 of these feel kinda clunky. You can probably guess which ones I feel that way about, namely the blue and the red horses. I quite like the rearing Andalusian though. I just feel like more could have been done with these 2, especially this guy, which is just like, as other people have pointed out, Hawaii and Alaska really better be on the other side of that horse. Then we have the Series 3 stablemates, including the following: a Brumby on the Bay semi-rearing Mustang mold, Thoroughbred, a Gray on the Walking Thoroughbred mold, Warmblood, a Pinto on the Warmblood Mare mold, Frisian, a solid black on the Standing Frisian or Django mold, Belgian Cross, a light chestnut on the Horatio mold, and Quarter Horse, a blue roan on the Loping Quarter Horse mold. I know that everyone is going nuts over the Frisian, particularly the fact that the Standing Frisian mold is finally in Frisian color, which is to say just solid black. So again, I expect that the show ring is going to be full of these guys in the mini carriage breed or equivalent classes. And he is nice, he is fine. Personally, of these 6, my favorites are probably the semi-rearing Mustang. I just think that Bay looks really nice on him. And also, again, with the roan on the Loping Quarter Horse mold, who I have a weird soft spot for. I have a bunch of these guys, and only one of them has shown well for me, so yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be trying to sell the others that I have, except for the one that's shown okay. So I probably won't get this guy, but again, the roan, it's kinda nice. And finally, we have the Mountain Ranch gift set, a 4-pack. This contains a buckskin on the Quarter Horse mold, a roan, tons of roans this year. It is the year of the blue roan. Although, this might be more of a black roan. I don't know. Anyway, a roan of some sort on the mini Smart Chicholina, a rose gray on the Reigning Horse mold, and a chestnut Tobiano Pinto on the mini Fighting Stallion mold. Of these guys, I find the Reigning Horse to be the most intriguing, although I do think the colorways are done well on all of them. I'm just not particularly a big fan of the Standing Horse or the Quarter Horse mold, and Smart Chick with his little tiny front leg there. So while I won't be purchasing this set, if this guy ever ends up in a raffle where I am showing or whatever, you can bet I'm gonna throw some tickets in his cup. So that's it for the new 2026 regular runs. And I think, like most years, there's a pretty mixed bag. I mean, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, there's some horses that I'm really excited to see and or get, some that I'm pretty indifferent to, and are there really any that I'm like absolutely not? I'm just looking back through my notes. I mean, again, I think the Halloween horse is maybe a little not Halloween-y, but, you know, once more, if he turns up in a raffle, I'm not... There's a good chance I'll throw some tickets into that cup, let's put it that way. I don't know, maybe Betsy and Ross are really the only ones that I would certainly stay away from, at least when we're looking at the traditionals. This is always fun to do, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well, so definitely leave your thoughts on this year's new models in the comments, because I always enjoy seeing the different opinions that we all have. Oh, and because I'm sticking to my promise this year, my first new series for this channel, the interview series, I don't really have a name for it quite yet. I have begun working on the questions, so as I mentioned, I'm hoping that by mid-month I will have more information and perhaps a form where if you are interested in signing up and potentially being one of the people to be interviewed, I will be making that available. I am pretty certain that that timeline is still feasible. When that finally is released, I will make a short video explaining everything, and I am quite looking forward to that. Otherwise, upcoming videos, I think we'll keep a little bit of a secret. Mostly because I don't know exactly what they're going to be until we inevitably get to our Breyerfest models video. But that's not for several months from now, so we gotta keep ourselves entertained in the meantime. So that's all for me for today. Thank you as always for being here, and I will see you next time.